This fire's been burning inside, let me light you. And this fire keeps spreading when they tell me what I can't do.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so right now Dylan's going to be reading off the website of what our president right now, Trump, is actually, well, what we say, quote unquote, he's trying to do this. So Dylan, go ahead and read us the article.
President Donald Trump promised as a candidate to spend the money to address the opioid epidemic, which is now the deadliest drug overdose crisis in U.S. history. In his first State of the Union speech in 2018, Trump said his administration is committed to fighting the drug epidemic and helping get treatment for those in need. When Trump took office in January 2017, 2016 had just hit a record with drug overdose deaths at nearly 64,000. By Trump's first State of the Union speech in 2018, the U.S. had another record. In 2017, there were more than 70,000 drug overdose deaths. Based on preliminary data as of June 2018, that year was on track to hit 70,000 drug overdose deaths as well. Drug overdose deaths kill far more people each year than car crashes, gun violence, or HIV or AIDS ever did. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, said that overdose deaths were in part to blame for drops in annual life expectancy in the past 3 years. The U.S. had been notoriously slow to respond to a health crisis before. With HIV or AIDS, the slow response to the crisis led to tens of thousands of unnecessary deaths. But Congress did eventually enact the Red-White Care Act, which effectively guaranteed treatment to those with HIV or AIDS and other programs, dictating tens of billions of dollars over years to a huge public health problem. The opioid crisis is now killing far more people each year in the U.S. than HIV or AIDS ever did. Yet Trump has mostly acted on the margins. Experts have described the legislation that he has signed to tackle the epidemic as simply tinker around the edges and insufficient in terms of funds. After Trump declared an emergency operation didn't lead to much actual policy change. Instead, Trump has spent much of his time focusing on building a wall at the U.S.-Mexico border, in part to stop the flow of illegal drugs like heroin and fentanyl. But experts have long said that a wall wouldn't do much, if anything, to stop drugs from pouring into the U.S. The opioid epidemic, despite Trump's talk, has not been a priority for him. On the White House's website, there are 5 categories to navigate through: the economy, national security, budget, immigration, and opioid crisis. In a telling symbol of the issues placed on Trump's agenda, only the opioid crisis section hasn't received an update in almost a year. The White House did not respond to a request for comment. That's all.
And that is it. So now we're going to be doing off a percentage of the countries. Ladies and gentlemen, so right now here you guys have it, the percentages of the country. So at the very top you guys can see we have Canada, United States, Brazil, and United Kingdom are the main ones that have been really using. We have the other countries like Afghanistan, Germany, Japan, Italy, Mexico. Those hardly use the drugs, but right here we have the main ones. So let's start off with USA. USA has 5.47% of people here in the US using. Next we go over to Canada. Canada uses 3.79% people use the drug. Next we go to United Kingdom, 2.9. That's not a lot, but that still is, a big number. Next we go to Brazil. Brazil uses 3.73 of the drug, which that includes heroin, meth, marijuana, cocaine, opioid, any.
Okay guys, so right now Dylan is going to be reading this thing you guys see on your screen right now, so go ahead and start reading it down.
Rules, solutions in the past for drug classes I can't speak have included radar classes for drug addicts to talk about their issues with drugs. We've had police officers who want to recover for busting drug dealers. You've also seen people have seen ads for hotlines or phone numbers to call for when they need help. There's also police rage, which is kind of similar to undercover, but it's also to catch people with drugs and just concentrate drugs. There's also medicine, hospitals, doctors, nurses, and just to treat people with overdoses in case that happens. And then treatments to help with the situation they're in, which is another form of rehab, it's a little bit different.
Solutions that me and Jose came up with is like take away or destroy all illegal drugs. Like medical stuff is okay because it's medical. There's also like we've seen lock bottles or jars to keep people from taking more than they need to or overdosing. Or like the bottles will dispense the medicine where it needs to be taken. And have more undercover people collect as much drugs as possible to get rid of them from being used again. And the last section we came up with so far is where you can put out reward signs for people who turn over drugs to police, and then they get paid for the drugs for turning them in.
This fire's been burning inside, let me light you.